So Dixon and Company started back in 2012. Mike started it after leaving UBS and really had a desire to work and help people, especially in the financial realm. He'd been involved in education for a long time and decided that he really wanted to help people with their finances and make a move into that direction. 2017 is when I came onto the scene. Mike had actually met me in 2016 at a Kingdom Advisors meeting here in Winston-Salem that my former professor from Liberty had put me in touch with. And so I think that might have been his last meeting that he went to for that, and I just happened to be there that day. And Mike and I went out and grabbed some Chick-fil-A and found out after the meeting that it was an impromptu interview, and he threw out business to me, and that was in 2016. And at the time I was working for a larger company here in the area. And so the Lord opened up that door, and in 2017, I made the leap, leaving the corporate world, moving into small business world, and never looked back. So a couple years later, I found out about this gentleman that Mike had been talking to named Ben Schamberger. And Ben and I went, goodness, where did we go to have lunch that day?
Chili's? Yes.
I think it was Chili's.
It was Chili's.
Which is the classic business meeting spot.
Yeah, so I met Mike in January of 2019. I was introduced to him and to you through two connections. One, my brother-in-law had worked for a company and through it doing finances and insurance, and through that company he made the connection to another guy by the name of Dwayne. And Dwayne knew Mike, Dwayne knew you, and Dwayne said, hey Ben, you got to go talk to Mike if you're looking for an opportunity. So at that time in January of 2019, I was in transition from working with one of the largest investment firms in America in their Greensboro, North Carolina office. I had just left that office and then was looking for a next opportunity. Didn't even really know exactly the difference between working with a major firm and then coming to work with a smaller firm like what Mike had to offer. But after talking with him and talking with you, decided to make the transition here, and that was March, I think it was March 1st or March 4th of 2019. But I think it actually started with me and Johnny, who's my brother-in-law, connecting me to Dwayne. Dwayne connected me to Mike, had a phone conversation with Mike, and then you and I went to go eat lunch at Chili's, and then the following week I came in for an interview with Mike, and then the rest was history. Yeah, so I had worked with a lot of clients. I think at the time when I had left that firm, I had somewhere close to 500 clients, and I just knew I was doing what I wanted to be doing, but I wasn't doing it the way, the how wasn't right. And I had too many clients, and I couldn't even keep up with all of my clients. It was too many for me to do what I wanted to do and feel great about it. And so when I found out, what Mike had to offer here, it felt really good, felt really personable. I felt like I had the freedom to kind of have specific conversations with clients that would oftentimes maybe get overlooked if I had to keep to a certain number of appointments per week, at a different firm. And so for me, that really felt great. It was one of the reasons why I stayed here.
Yeah, growing up, I always loved talking about money. I don't know why, but every time somebody bring up a financial conversation, I always got really excited about it. My adrenaline would start pumping. Like some people are like, all right, I see an amusement park, your adrenaline starts pumping. Mine's like, we're gonna talk about money? Like, I wanna jump in on this conversation, like hear about some strategy or hear about what somebody can do to save money, or somebody can do to maximize their money's potential. Whatever it was, I was always interested. And people mistook me growing up thinking I was really good at math, but I wasn't really good at math. I was just really good at math that had a dollar sign in it. And for some reason, it just added enough purpose to the equation that it made sense to me. And then when I got a little bit older, I started tearing into some financial planning books and just loved it from a personal side. And while I was in the corporate world, I just started noticing a lot of the people that I was working with, maybe weren't taking advantage of their 401k contributions for the matching aspect, or they were going heavily into debt for consumer purchases and just didn't have some of the financial education that maybe would have helped them make a little bit better decision for their future. And it really got me motivated to learn more about that and have some of those conversations. And I was telling you earlier, it was just so weird when I was growing up. I always felt like people felt a little bit more comfortable talking to me about money. Yeah. And I don't know why, but I loved engaging in those conversations. I loved having money conversations. And so when Mike finally threw out business to me, well, not finally, like, I mean, he did it pretty quick, but when Mike threw out business to me, it just, man, it resonated. I'm like, man, I finally have an opportunity to help people with something that I love talking about and love studying. And I wanted to be able to bring a world-class, education and experience to that process. And so that's where it was so much fun, because when I met you and you had that same passion. Now, we didn't know that about each other when we first met. We had very different personalities, and it's a story in and of itself. But it was really cool to see how the Lord kind of worked us in together to see how combining forces, we tended to balance each other out really well, because you are one of the best I've ever met when it comes to asking questions. And,
well, thank you.
And I don't, if somebody doesn't know that about you, Ben is fantastic at asking insightful questions that get to the heart of an issue, but he does it in a way that makes people feel comfortable about the conversation that they're having without feeling any shame or guilt. It's just all about, like, man, let's have a real conversation so we can establish that starting point. And it's something that I've been learning from you year after year, of how to engage people in that way. And it's been really, really beneficial.
One of the things I've learned about Tyler is the way that he cares for people, and the skill set that God has given him allows him to, as you heard him say, put purpose and intention to money, right? So if you listen to another part of the video, you hear Tyler and Mike talking about money being a tool, and I think he's really learned how to make that something that's tangible for people, where a lot of times money can feel very complex, it can feel very overwhelming. Tyler has this way with money conversations, budget, cash flow, debt, home and auto, taxes, you name it. He can go down any of those trails and kind of make something that feels very strange and oftentimes scary for people into something where it's like, okay, like, I get it, I understand it. And even if it's like, they don't get it fully, having the confidence in your ability, and Tyler's ability to say, okay, yeah, I can take that next step. So that's something that I've seen you do. And oftentimes I'm amazed when I go into an appointment and I look at the maze that's on the whiteboard, and I think I would have never even thought to have asked that question or to have gone there with that. So really cool.
Yeah. So we love what we do. We love being able to help people. We're excited to have money conversations and help add clarity and confidence to whatever that might be for our clients. So